This is the plaintiff, Loretta. She says she stored 2 suitcases in the building she used to live in with the defendant. And for some unknown reason, the defendant decided to take her belongings and donate them to a thrift shop. She also thinks the defendant took her business clothes and is wearing them. Whatever, the woman's creepy, and she can't get her belongings back. So she's suing for the $4,400 worth of stuff she is missing. This is the defendant, Sharon Rosenberg. She says the suitcases were left over for a month and were essentially abandoned. The super in the building was going to throw them out, which she thought would be a terrible waste, so she donated them. She even washed some of them first, so the thrift shop received them clean. Bottom line, abandoned property is abandoned property, so she could do whatever she wanted with the stuff, and that's exactly what she did. She's accused of feeling a little too charitable.
Okay, Loretta, you've asked to be referred to only by your first name, and we'll respect that. You're suing Sharon Rosenberg for $4,400 that you say she owes you because she got rid of your stuff. Okay, talk to me.
Okay, I don't know how much history you want, but I lived with Sharon for 1.5 years. I lived in her apartment complex. It was definitely a crash pad. I used it from Monday to Thursday, leaving on the weekend. So basically it was a crash pad, and it was very convenient for my work situation at the time. On June 9th...
What do you do for a living?
I'm a CPA.
Okay.
On June 9th, 2011, I advised Sharon that I no longer wished to live with her and I would be moving out. So I gave her...
Did you two have a problem or no?
No, none whatsoever. Okay. I was returning temporarily to Colorado with the opportunity to return to New York City for a new job opportunity. I gave her 30-day notice. August 4th, the week prior, actually the first week of August, I spoke to the building supervisor, asking him if I could possibly leave some of my luggage, 2 of my suitcases out of 4, with the building, with him.
Okay, now she's a tenant in the building?
Apparently she owns the apartment, yes. So I asked the building supervisor if I can temporarily store some of my luggage in the building. He agreed. She was not party to that agreement at all. We had this private discussion in the lobby area of the building, the ground floor. I left August 4th. Rather than take, again, 4 suitcases, I took 2 with me full of casual clothing and left 2 suitcases with strictly business attire in there, including over a dozen business suits, sweaters, business shoes, and the like. Also in the baggage, I left important legal documents, including tax return information and other important, legal papers. I left flash drives, important information, as well as a $400 travel coupon. I travel extensively for work between Colorado and New York.
And the $400 travel coupon was what kind of coupon?
It was just a United airline coupon that I would use in future. You know, I obviously would put it to good use because I travel often. I left it in there because I thought that they would be in a secured, safe area. Okay, so
were you paying for storage?
No, none whatsoever. The building supervisor did the strictly for...
What you're telling me is that you left all your important belongings, $4,400 worth of belongings, with this a building super,
right?
With only the building super permission, not the owner of the building.
No.
And said to him, "I'll be back sometime," and left town.
I told him, no. I told him...
That's exactly what you just said.
No, let me tell you some more. Important information. I told him that a friend of mine who lives in Long Island will come by soon, actually within a few weeks, to pick it up. Obviously, it wasn't going to be left in the building permanently.
Within a few weeks? Within
a few weeks. He would come by and pick it up. This was during the month of August. Okay. He was fine. Everything was fine. I saw the 2 suitcases being rolled away to an area in the lobby area in a separate space away from the public area.
Okay.
Okay, so I left on a taxi to the airport heading to Colorado. On the 26th of August, I get a phone call from the building supervisor saying that, hey, it was a friendly reminder, your luggage is still here. Is your friend going to come by pick it up? I apologize.
So it's now 3
It was
weeks,
3 weeks. So the
later, and your
26th.
friend hasn't picked it up.
That's right. And then I immediately call my friend from Long Island and say, hey, they're waiting on you to pick up the suitcases. He shows up on the August 27th.
Which is how many days after the phone call?
Only a day after. He shows up and obviously going there for the purpose of picking up my suitcases. He texts me and says, hey, apparently the doorman tells me your roommate has taken your clothes. And I explain more. I have this all on text. He says, well, apparently she convinced the doorman to take the 2 suitcases up to her apartment for safekeeping. And
Do you have an affidavit from the doorman that says that?
No.
Why not?
The issue is the doorman doesn't want to get involved. He's afraid of losing his job.
Do you have an affidavit from your friend that says that the doorman told him that?
No, I don't have that. I only have a text log that shows the discussion that we've had between
That the two of
Sharon.
you have had.
And I called her.
Okay, so you call her and what happened?
And I asked her, what have you done to my suitcase? I understand you took my suitcases. And in the text here on my phone, it says that she dry cleaned some of the clothes. She put them back in one suitcase and gave those to my friend. The suitcase was only a quarter full when he went to pick it up. And she also donated the balance of the stuff to a local thrift store. And she received a tax-deductible receipt.
What happened?
She left, her suitcases. She moved out of the building on August 4th. I heard her say on the phone to the super, if they were not picked up in a week, they could be disposed of.
Why would anybody ask somebody to hold them, and then you overheard that
she was
said
sitting
they
on
could
my
be-
lawn. It was right in my apartment. She was sitting on my sofa. They were stored in.
Why would she tell him, if I'm not back in a week, get rid of it? Why wouldn't she just know if she wants them or not? People know if they want them. Other people make a decision. Well, this person's left this here long enough. I'm not a storage facility. I'm getting rid of it. That's usually how it works. I don't usually have people leaving stuff and saying, if I'm not here in a week, get rid of it. And I certainly don't have third parties butting their heads where it doesn't belong. I don't understand why you got involved.
Well, that's what I understood. Okay.
Okay, so what exactly did you understand? This is not your problem.
Well,
this is her problem. The super didn't throw it away. Apparently, you got it from the super?
Well, after about 3 weeks or so, they had not been picked up, and, the supers told me they were going to be discarded. So rather than see them, discarded, I decided to do a good deed and donate them to the thrift store.
Why are you involved at all? I don't understand why you're getting involved. They're not abandoned after only 24 days. That's not the law. Why are you donating your roommate's clothes? You don't have her phone number? You can't call her? She's in Colorado, not on the top of Mount Everest. I don't understand.
Well, we really didn't get along all that well. It was a very unpleasant.
Now let's have it.
Right.
What happened there?
No, we had a very unpleasant. And she had overstayed, and
She owed you money?
well, she used her security as her last month's rent and stayed a few extra days to.
So she owed you some money for the extra days,
Well, she didn't want to give me any.
but you asked her for it,
Yeah.
and she wouldn't give it to you.
No.
All right. And then you took her clothes.
Well, I wasn't trying to be resentful. I really, really didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
She thinks you just took her suits because you're both the same size. She thinks you just swiped her suits.
Well, I didn't keep anything.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So do you think this landlord is really legit, or do you think she's making this up?
I think she's making it up.
Just because she doesn't like the plaintiff?
Yeah, because the plaintiff had left their stuff there and she had completely packed it up and it was all valuable, so there's no way she wanted to get rid of it after a week.
Fair enough. Ma'am, what do you say?
Yeah, she would have left it just lying around if she wanted her to get rid of it.
An excellent point she makes. You're going to get the last word.
She's just trying to get even, I guess.
Okay, you know what? All good points going inside the courtroom.
How are you going to prove you had all this stuff in there, and how are you going to prove the value of the stuff? You don't put a brand. You don't attach a single receipt. You have nothing. Wait, don't tell me. All the receipts were in the luggage, right?
No, of course
okay,
not.
So where are the any receipts? Anything?
Okay, I know as a fact I had business attire in there, and obviously I had, being a CPA, I'm required to wear, business clothes. I had over 12 suits in there. I had,
Do you have any receipts, ma'am?
No, I don't have any receipts.
Okay, because you picked a figure that is perilously close to the statutory maximum. Actually, you're saying it's $3,000 for missing clothes, $1,000 for lawyer fees. Did you pay $1,000 to a lawyer?
I had, because I was in Colorado, I had to, in person, go and complete a police theft report. I was not able to do that on my own from Colorado, so I hired an attorney.
But you don't need a lawyer to do. Let me see the proof that you paid $1,000 to a lawyer.
Well, no, I don't have that here.
Okay. All right. Now, travel voucher. Tell me about that. You left a $400 travel voucher in the luggage. Why didn't you put it in your purse?
I was in a rush.
Because it sounds so incredibly ridiculous to leave. It's essentially $400 in cash is what you're saying you had in there, right? Can somebody else use it?
No, it's not transferable.
Okay,
it's marked
then
to my
that
name.
means that United still has record of your $400 voucher.
I would think so.
So then
yes.
you're not out it. Then you can call United and.
I don't believe that's how it works. I believe
did you ever bother to find out before you came to
No,
us?
I didn't bother to find out.
Okay.
No.
All right.
If I may add something?
Yes. Can you add anything that proves the value of the amounts you're asking for? Because let me explain to you how it works in court.
Yeah.
There are two things you have to prove in court. One, that person did me wrong.
Right.
Two, I'm out X. That person did me wrong, you are golden on. Okay? You can't assume something's abandoned when it's none of your stinking business. All right? But even if it was your business, I don't believe you when you say that she left a bunch of suitcases and said, if I don't come in a week, you can throw it away. You're a total liar when you say that. You are saying that because now you're in trouble and you don't want to be in trouble.
No.
Okay, stop. Stop.
Okay.
And you come in here and demand $4,400 because you spent $1,000 on legal fees. Prove it. Can't. You had $3,000 in clothing. Prove it. Can't. I mean, how do you think this is going to work? Let me see the texts between you two.
Step right back. That is the beginning.
I suffered from your verbal abuse enough and can't tolerate any more now that you left. It was my intention to give you the $1,180 receipt, which is more than it's worth. I threw out the garbage and shredded the dough cents.
Document.
You stole my clothes. This is the plaintiff. And I have proof. You stole over $1,000 of work clothes. Now it's $3,000 and shoes. Then you keep texting her. Then she says, stop, I'm in a meeting. Stop your threats. And then you respond, these are not threats. You don't have the time for this because she says, I don't have time for this. Even if you don't get along with somebody, you don't have her email, you can't text her. Of course you can text her. You don't want to talk to her, just say, listen, are you picking up your stuff or not? I don't want it to go to waste. But you didn't, which makes you, put your hand down, which makes you look really vindictive. And yet I'm still left with the same problem, which is you have not one whit of proof of value. So what time is it, Douglas?
Time to do a little rough justice.
Okay? This is where it's like I'm out in the prairie, okay? And we just sort of do what we feel because a litigant doesn't bring me the proof of the really highfalutin value that you would like to get in court today, particularly when what you say in a text is it's a third of what you're asking for in court today.
If I may say so, Judge, to replace how I came up with the values to replace those clothes. I had all my business clothes.
You don't get replacement value. That's not what you get. What you get when someone converts your stuff, when they take your things, okay, what you get is the value of the items at the time that they were taken. All right? That's what you get. That means a depreciated value. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take into account punitive damages as well, because I really do think that this is outrageous for you to have gone down there, taken her stuff, and then done what you felt, whether it was keep it or donate it, it was none of your business to get involved in. And when you tell me that you did that out of the goodness of your good Samaritan soul, I don't believe you when you're telling me about how you had bad blood with her and when I read the text back and forth. And when you tell me that she owed you money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to award a depreciated value for clothes that is missing of $500 plus $500 in punitive damages for a total of $1,000 verdict for the plaintiff.
And so the plaintiff has collected $1,000. There's the defendant. Step right out here next to me. Come on over here and tell me. Turn this way. What's your reaction to the verdict from Judge Millian here?
Well, I mean, as far as punitive damages, I really didn't feel I was doing anything wrong.
Seemed like you were meddling according to the testimony and what the judge told you and stuff that was really none of your business there.
I didn't really get to say too much on my side.
I heard you say quite a bit. How come you couldn't get along as roommates?
She just really used to pick on me and yell at me a lot for things. Yeah.
And so you didn't do this as kind of revenge against her?
No, no.
All right. All right, right around the corner. Your documents are waiting for you, and that'll wrap it up for you, okay? Right this way. And, all right, so come on out here and tell me what's your feeling. You sued for $4,400 and came away with a ruling for $1,000.
Yes, well, obviously I'm disappointed. I had all my business clothes in that suitcase. I think we all know to replace business suits, it's expensive. I had
You also need evidence.
Right. I also have I had a dozen suits in there.
How come you couldn't get along as roommates with her?
She's a liar. We lived together for a year and a half. I find that hard that someone can make a claim that we didn't get along in a year and a half. Why would she not thrown me out?
What's this about, all this verbal abuse you heaped on her?
She's, unfortunately, she's a liar and she's trying to rationalize her behavior.
All right, Harvey.
Real simple. If you store stuff at somebody's place, you should email them and let them know exactly how long you're going to leave the stuff there, and what, if there are terms, what the terms are to protect yourself. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.